Hi, this is Kevin. Welcome to part 7 of my tutorial for the generic class-based views assignment. Part 7 is where we refactor the delete views. And the sequence that we're going to follow of which of the views we do together and which ones you're going to do on your own is slightly different. And that has to do with the fact that the delete for the registration is different than all the other ones. And you may remember that we talked about this before, okay? Uh, the registration is the registration is the one table that's not pointed to by other tables. So if we simply delete a registration, we're not going to break the referential integrity of the database. And because of that, the coding for delete registration is really simple. Okay, but before we do that, let's start up the development server and look at the way the functionality works right now for delete registration. Okay, so we fired this up. Let's go to registrations. Okay, and let's create a new one that we don't care about. So let's register Claire Abraham in this IS439 in the spring of 2021. Okay, let's do that and create the registration, and here it is. And if we go back to the registration list, we'll see it right here. All right. And if we want to delete it, we click delete. Okay. And this is the only place that you can come to. We don't have a refuse delete page for registration because if we delete one, we're not going to harm the referential integrity of the database. We do want a confirmation page, and that's where we come. So we're going to click on delete registration, and we can see that that's gone. Okay, so the code that we have works just fine. All right, let's take a look at that code. Okay, so let's go down. That's the very last view that we have. And here's delete registration. And geez, it looks a little bit like the update even. So we've coded a get. We've coded a post. Okay. And they commonly use a get object. Okay. It's not as long as the update, but there's, there are 3 methods here. Okay. All right. Now, what are we going to replace it with? Well, let's look at the documentation for the class delete view. Okay. It says a view that it displays a confirmation page and it deletes an existing object. The given object will only be deleted if the request method is post. If the view is fetched via get, it will display a confirmation page that should contain a form that posts to the same URL. So that's the way our forms and our templates and all work, except we have a lot of code that does it. Okay. All right. It looks like we're just going to be able to use this as is. We're not going to have to override things. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Let's just take all of this code for registration delete and toggle it into a comment. Okay. And get some lines down here to add a new code. Okay. And I'm going to copy it out of my already baked version. You're going to have to type yours in. Okay. And here it is, 3 lines of code. Okay, so we went from, say, 473 to 493. We had about 20 lines of code, right? And we went to 3. Well, that's a good change. That's a lot less code to have to maintain. All right, and we have some things to that we need to import. We have to do the import for delete view, and this reverse lazy is a way to it's a way to fetch the URL for the page that you want to go to. Okay, and the variable that we're assigning it to, success URL, says if we successfully deleted this, okay, which means that we did the post and we found this thing and we deleted it. Okay, we can't go back to the detail page for that object because it is gone. So we need to go to the registration list. So we need to import reverse lazy. Let's do that. Okay, and that's all of our code. Okay, let's give it a test. So we're going to bring over the browser again, and we're on the registration list. Let's create a registration to delete. This time, let's register Chloe Anderson for that same IS439 course and create registration, and that looks fine. And if we go to the registration list, we'll see that she's right here. Okay, so let's go to that detail page and click on the delete. Okay, and we come to a confirmation page as we expected. And if we click on delete, we go to the registration list and it's gone. Well, that's nice. Okay, so that test worked. Now, because we commented out the code, we need to delete that. Okay, and that's good. And let's just run that test again to make sure that we haven't harmed anything as we change the code. So we're here, we're going to create a registration. Let's make this one for Joshua Abraham and that IS439 course again. Create the registration. Okay, that's good. And if we go to the list, we'll see that it's right here. Very good. Click on it, go to the detail page, ask for delete, confirm it, it's gone. Okay, so that one was pretty easy because we didn't have to worry about referential integrity. So we could take the implementation that's in the superclass, delete view, the implementation that they had for get was appropriate for us. The implementation that they had for post was appropriate for us, and everything was fine. Now, will that work for Instructor? No, it won't. All the rest of the tables need us to do a little bit more work. Okay, let's go look at that. Okay, so before I copy this, let's just go up and look at Instructor delete. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, Instructor delete. Okay, so just like we had in the other code, we have an implementation for get. Okay, so we've got a get. We have a post. Okay, They both are custom code, and they share this get object. Keep us from having to have the same code in both of those. Okay, now you have to think about this a bit, but what do we want to override? Well, once we confirm the delete, we just want to delete it the standard way. Okay, all the all the extra care that we want to take is before we get to the confirmation. Okay, that code's all in the get. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of the post. Okay, we're going to leave the code for the get. Okay, we're going to clone the header lines. Okay, so that we're using delete view as our superclass instead of just view. Okay, that's good. And we're going to do one other thing. Because we were calling this get object, it doesn't make sense to call that from up there if we're only calling it from one place in the class. So we're going to take get object and bring that code up in line and put it right here. So when we get done, we're going to be using the new superclass, okay, and we'll have a line or two to configure that, and then we'll have a slightly refactored implementation for get, and we'll have no implementation for post. We're just going to take the standard implementation for post that's in the superclass delete view. All right. Now, so this is the clone that we're going to do together, and then I'm going to turn you loose to do the rest on your own. So together we're going to do instructor delete, and then on your own you're going to do the delete for section, course, semester, and student. Okay, so let's go back. It's the last view, and I'm not going to turn things into a comment anymore because I'm going to use a lot of the code that's there. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this kind of header code from registration delete, and I'm going to go back up and find instructor delete again. Got a ways to go. Where's instructor delete? I think it's right here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, again, I'm not going to toggle this into a comment. I'm just going to change it in place. Okay, so I'm going to paste the new version of the top code right over top of what was there, but of course it's a clone, so I need to change it. It's not registration delete, it's instructor delete. Okay, and then the model class is not registration, it's instructor. Okay, and then the success URL is going to go to not registration list, but instructor list. Okay, that's good. All right, so we got that done. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the implementation for post. I don't need it. I'm going to use the one that's in the superclass. Okay, am I done? Almost, not yet. You'll remember that we want to just inline this code. Now, you would think that you would be able to use PyCharm to just refactor the code. Because we are overriding a superclass, and because there is a method in the superclass called getObject, we can't do that. Okay? I tried it. Doesn't work. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to take the code, get object or 404 down through here, and we're going to copy it. Okay. And then we're going to go up to where we call it, right up here. And you're going to replace all the code, including the self dot. This self.getObject0404 with the parameter pk. We're going to paste it over top of that. Okay? And now I'm kind of thinking I'd like all the code on the same line. Now you might say, I should have had it on the same line before, and that's occurred to me too. Okay, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use my delete key to bring that there, and I need a space after the comma, and I'm going to bring this here. Okay, and that's going to take care of that. Am I done yet? Not yet, because I still have this implementation for getObject that I don't want there. So let's get rid of the getObject. Get rid of the blank lines, and that should be it. So what 3 things did I have to do? Well, I had to paste the new code over the header lines. Okay, I had to get rid of the implementation for post, and then I had to copy the code from the get object and put it up here, and then I had to remove the implementation for get object. Okay, all right, so let's confirm that that works. Okay, so we're back here. Let's go to instructors. Okay, and let's create a phony instructor to delete. Okay, so let's create Adam Adamson. He should be up towards the top. Okay, so he's here. And let's look at the list of instructors. Yep, he's right up at the top. Okay, if we click on this, okay, he doesn't have any sections. So if I click at the delete button, I should just get a confirmation page. I do, and I get a confirmation page, and I confirm it, and he's deleted. Okay, that's good. I'm not done yet with my testing though. I have to try to delete an instructor who's teaching sections. Well, who do I have who I know is teaching a section? Well, me. I've got me in the test data. So here's where I go down to the bottom of the page. I'm gonna click the link for the last page. That's too far for me. I'm going to click the link for the previous page, and I'm on this page. So you go down, you can find Trainer Kevin, and you can see I'm teaching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So it should not allow me to delete it. Instead of going to the confirmation page, it should go to the refusal page. So let's click delete instructor. We got the refusal page. That's perfect. Let's say we want to return to the instructor list. We're back to the instructor list. So that worked. Okay, do we need to remove commented code and test it again? No, because I worked over the code directly. I didn't put it into a comment. Okay, so that's all done. Okay, so together we've done registration delete and instructor delete. What I want you to do now is to take the same approach that we took to instructor delete and take a cloning approach and do the delete for section, course, semester, and student. And when you do that, you'll be done with this assignment. I am going to say bye until next time. So good luck with your the rest of your work, and I'll say bye. Bye-bye.